When I'm 25, I learn about Hendrik Jefferson living it up with my stepsister, Yvette Rivera. So, I go to my father and ask to marry Hendrik's brother, Jeremy Jefferson. In my past life, I married Hendrik as I wished, yet he hooked up with Yvette the day after our wedding. He brought her everywhere with him, announcing to the world that she was his female companion. He told her to smash the necklace my late mother left for me and indulged in her when she pushed me into the pool. He even hired online trolls to spread rumors about me. Yvette came to me to gloat. I'm the one Ricky loves. He only married you to make his family shut up. He didn't want to touch you when you were younger, let alone now that you're 25 and old. You need to learn to know your place. Now that I've been reborn, I decide to give them what they want. Unexpectedly, Hendrik crashes my wedding with Jeremy, claiming that I'm the one he truly loves. I hadn't expected to run into Hendrik Jefferson in the living room after leaving his grandmother's room. He had seemingly just returned, with a few friends of his from other wealthy families following from behind. Kellen Lester sneered when he saw me. Whitney Zander, what a hard-working lapdog you are, buzzing around Hendrik incessantly like a fly. The group of men burst out into laughter while Hendrik flopped himself down onto the couch, crossing one leg over the other. He stared at me coldly, his face dripping with disdain. Did you come here to look for someone to help you? Or did you specifically want my grandmother's help? I'm warning you, you'd better not go around troubling and upsetting me, he said while exhaling his cigarette smoke right into my face. You've shamelessly latched onto me these past few years. You might not feel embarrassed, but I certainly find it disgusting. Just the thought of being married to you makes me itch all over. He flicked the ash from his cigarette at me in disgust, instantly burning a red mark on my hand. I swallowed the pain and made myself sound calm as I spoke. It was your grandmother and Jean who asked me to come here. They wanted to discuss the Trican project with me. I didn't come here for you. Everyone gasped when they heard me. The Trican project? I knew why they were so surprised. Mr. Jefferson Sr., or Albert, had stated in his will that once I became the person in charge of the Trican project, I could choose one from the Jefferson family to solidify the marriage alliance, and our future child would also receive 40% of the shares. Thus, my words had essentially confirmed that the next successor to Jefferson Group would soon be revealed. The men gasped in excitement and flocked to congratulate Hendrik. You hold 20% of the shares now. Once your child is born, you'll be the heir to the Jefferson Group. A smug smile crossed Hendrik's face. He raised his glass and downed the red wine before turning to me. Whitney, after chasing after me for all these years, you can finally marry me. Your dreams are finally coming true. I bet you're delighted. His friends broke out in jeering laughter. You are lucky to be able to marry Hendrik. Hendrik walked up to me and whispered in my ear, I won't make the same mistake as I did in my past life. If you want me to marry you, you'll have to agree to one condition. Once we're married, I'll still want to be with Yvette. Don't stand in my way. My heart lurched in surprise, and I stared at him in shock. That was when I knew he had been reborn too. I was just about to answer him when a sickeningly sweet voice sounded from behind. Whitney. Yvette Rivera made her way over with small, frail steps, looking especially weak and fragile. Even her makeup and clothes made her look sickly. Hendrik threw his glass down and ran over to support her. Yvette, why were you here? Yvette raised her eyes to look at him weakly. She then pretended to be unsteady on her feet and leaned into Hendrik's arms. Whitney is going to take over the Trican project, so I wanted to come organize the data for her. But I'm a little late because I've caught a bad flu. You won't blame me, right, Whitney? Hendrik shot me a glare when he heard this, as if accusing me of being a bad older sister. How can you be so cruel, Whitney? Why'd you make such a fuss and have your sick sister come all the way here just for some dumb project? With that, he turned to help Yvette up the stairs. Yvette, go upstairs and rest first. I'll have the housekeeper, Laura, bring you some flu medication. I'll call Dr. Shem to come and take a look at you too. When he walked past me, he warned me in a low voice, if you dare bully Yvette again or act selfishly, then I'll call our marriage agreement off. His friends joined in with their jeering. Whitney, a lapdog should know their place and not upset Hendrik. Hendrik didn't look back. I watched him as he went from holding Yvette's arm to support her to gently picking her up in his arms before disappearing from my line of sight. Hendrik, with Yvette in tow, came late to the Trican project's launch ceremony. The elders had already left after completing the handover, and only the younger generation remained, messing about and eagerly awaiting to watch the drama unfold. Yvette's hair was messy, her lipstick smudged, and her cheeks flushed pink. Hendrik, on the other hand, had a satisfied grin on his face, and there were even visible bite marks on his neck. One of the men nearby could immediately tell what had transpired between the two. He raised his wine glass while his gaze darted between the three of us, eagerly waiting for me to fly into a rage. The past me would have slapped Yvette across the face by now. The current me, however, remained seated while calmly eating some pastries. Hendrik placed himself in front of Yvette protectively to stop me from lunging forward and hitting her, but also to seek an excuse to yell at me. After finishing my pastries, I relaxedly sipped my coffee as if none of this concerned me. Hendrik looked upset when he realized he didn't have a reason to yell at me. Then, he snorted as a thought suddenly crossed his mind. So, you become all meek and gracious now, just so you can marry me? That's very self-aware of you, Whitney. That's right. If you want me to marry you, then you'd better behave. Since today is the first day you've taken over the project, I brought you a present. He reached into his pocket to pull it out and was just about to hand it to me when Yvette snatched it from his hand. Ricky, this brooch is so pretty. When Hendrik saw how happy Yvette looked, he blurted, you like this, Ivy? Then go ahead and keep it. Yvette looked at me awkwardly, but it was obvious from the slight tilt of her lips that she was already celebrating inside. That wouldn't be right, though. You wanted to give this to Whitney as a present. If you gave it to me, would that upset her? Hendrik wrapped his fingers around Yvette's hand holding the brooch and said gently, if you like it, then take it. Don't worry about anyone else. He then turned and shot me a look of disdain. As for her, he walked over to the waiter who was removing the floral centerpieces from the tables, plucked a leaf from the arrangement, and tossed it at me. Have this, he said before bursting into laughter and turning to Yvette. That's the present that suits her best. The leaf floated to the ground, and a gust of air blew it right in front of Hendrik. He then lifted a foot and stomped down on it. Oh dear. Why aren't you cherishing the present I gave you? You didn't hold on to it properly, and now it's gone. The surrounding crowd was trying to hide their chuckles when one of the men teased, but it doesn't matter what Hendrik gifts Whitney because she'll love it either way. She just wants to avoid embarrassment right now, but later, she'll surely pick that leaf up and put it away carefully. Hearing this, the others joined in on the jeering. Everyone knows how head over heels in love Whitney is with Hendrik. I bet she'll love it even more now that the leaf has his footprint on it. As I stared at their sneering expressions, I suddenly felt like it was all rather pointless. In the past, I had eagerly longed for Hendrik's presence. Indeed, he had once given me a piece of chocolate that he had taken a bite out of and didn't want anymore, and because his scent lingered on it, I treasured it so much I couldn't even bear to eat it. I even cleaned out the fridge so I could preserve it. Those from our social circle had all laughed at me. They had said that even if Hendrik gave me a crumpled piece of paper, I'd still take care of it as if it were a priceless treasure. I poured more coffee into my empty cup, then picked up another pastry and enjoyed it slowly, looking unbothered. When Hendrik saw how calm I was, he became displeased, and his expression turned stony. He hurriedly pulled Yvette to sit down next to me, and the two of them started flirting with each other like a couple madly in love. They also shot taunting glances toward me every now and then, expecting me to fly into a jealous rage. Feeling utterly disinterested, I wiped my hands and stood up to leave. Seeing this, Hendrik immediately grabbed my hand. With a condescending tone and a smug expression, he said, "What? Are you already feeling jealous? I've already told you, Whitney, you won't be the only woman I have around, so you'd better start getting used to it now." Thoroughly disgusted, I yanked my hand back and wiped it with a tissue. "You didn't even wash your hands before touching me. How gross of you." Hendrik froze, not expecting to hear that from me, but he soon broke out into laughter. "Are you playing hard to get? We're about to get married, so why were you still pretending to be all modest? How ridiculous." If it weren't for his grandmother, Sophia Lancaster, instructing me to keep my choice a secret for now, I would have cut ties with him. I stared at him speechlessly before retorting with a low chuckle. "We're not married yet, Hendrik, so don't be so full of yourself." He froze for a second before bursting out into another round of laughter. When the people around us saw him laughing, they joined in on the laughter too. Hendrik was laughing so hard he almost stumbled backward. He pointed at me and snorted, "Everyone in Jedina knows that you're head over heels in love with me and won't marry anyone else. Our families have a marriage arrangement. If you don't marry me, then who are you going to marry? My widowed uncle? Or the youngest brother, who's not even 18 years old yet? My second youngest brother is sickly and weak and will likely," he trailed off. "Or, are you intending on becoming a widow? Who else can you possibly be married to other than me, Whitney Xander? It's not as entertaining when you go overboard with this act of yours, so hurry up and admit you've made a mistake."